YouTube, but
I did test it to your YouTube. That's why
I
that's
mean,
what.
Facebook. I mean,
Oh, did you still edit?
I nope.
Did you edit? No.
What's it?
Yeah.
Okay. Ooh, spicy. Just
Cool.
doing it. Hey, Jadis. Are we in there?
There you go, sweet cheeks.
What up, y'all?
Yo, yo, yo.
I'm gonna let people slide up in here real quick before we get started. Wait, does this go down anymore? Is that it? Okay. Let me just...
I've tried it before, and I was like, "Oh, let me take my hands off this before I break it," and then I have to be like, "I found it like that."
You just live on it?
I found it like that.
All right, there we go.
Woo.
Far away or something. I need to be like right here.
You just want to be close to me. You don't have to make up no reason.
How much space you got on your
Come
side?
on in.
I can slide this over.
Um, you think because your booty bigger than mine?
Yeah.
Wait, why you go that way? That's giving you less room.
No, but it makes me slide that way.
Oh,
Hey y'all, hey.
Caught the lie. Pisces and Aries, perfect combination. Thank you. No one has ever said that to my face.
Right? We just had to. We spent 10 years just proving niggas wrong.
Proving niggas wrong.
Oh, water sign with fire sign? Y'all ain't gonna last. We should have broke up years ago, but we were so hell bent on proving people wrong.
Don't let them see you sweat, me.
It's such a toxic marriage.
Oh my God.
Y'all come on in.
In the house. What up? Are y'all still on Patreon? Yes,
Yep.
we are.
Patreon is still popping. Still popping.
Oh, you saw them little abs? Yeah. I'm out here. I ain't do nothing to deserve them.
Meanwhile,
but I'm making them look good.
I'm doing slim fast with a sprinkle of crack, trying to get my shit together. I'm just built like my mama. It ain't no changing it. I may not ever have abs. Let me tell you something.
Wait a second. I just need to real quick because I'm a goldfish and I'll forget. Michael Bickham, thank you. Ain't none of this, none of y'all business, but y'all nosy. So, because I love that he said that. Damn.
Left.
Oh, that left.
Yeah, there we go.
See? Yes, thank you.
Shout out to Michael for that. Appreciate you. The reality of it is he's right. But we're doing it for more than just that. We're also doing it for those that may be interested and maybe you don't have an outlet or people to reach out to gain more insight on it. People who may be curious about it, and then people who just want to know more information about it. So that's what we're doing it for. That's the reason that I responded. Thinking Kia said you're gonna dip in and say some wild shit, then dip out.
I can see that.
That's the reason I responded the way I did on the Instagram post. I was trying my best not to be negative with my responses, even though my first response was like, "This is what works for us." And we're not trying to convert or convince anybody. That was my first thing. But you had a lot of people that were like, oh, I give it 10 years. First of all, if a marriage makes it 10 years, because nigga, life be lifing. Yeah. And just to let those people that obviously didn't know us, we make 10 years in March. And that's 10 years married. We met in 2005. So this, and when people say stuff like that, is this to say that once we realize that something's not working for us, we're not going to have a conversation about it to adjust ourselves and
basically that same energy and attitude that you put into your job. New systems come along, practices get outdated, and so you train, you learn, you get certified, you put the work into your job, that same level of research and understanding needs to happen in your relationships, not just the significant other, romantic relationships, but relationships, period. Especially ones that you value, and people fail to look at it from that standpoint.
For sure. Congratulations to Adrian for 1 year. Absent good 12 years. Congratulations to you guys. And yeah, man, we got about 360 people here. We're gonna go ahead and get started. I should have put on there that I'm probably gonna delete this one. So this is really just for the live. So if people are here, you get to see it. If you're not here, sorry, there will be no rewatch game.
Oh my God, I love that so much.
Yeah, so you ain't coming in after the fact and leaving no wild ass comments. This is gonna be gone. Facebook is gonna be deleted. So
I love it. I love
you gotta
that
catch
for
it.
us.
You gotta catch it, man. Let me also say that we typically do these bi-weekly on our Patreon. So I'm redesigning my Patreon right now, but it's a $5 entry. You still get a lot of the same benefits that the other ones get. The $10 one would get a couple extra benefits, and the $25 one, I know that's crazy as fuck. I don't expect people to stay at the $25 one, but the $25 one is going to allow you to get the most benefits, and also you're going to be able to get a monthly face-to-face with me if you want.
Canceling, just picture me. Just wish
you'll get a monthly face-to-face. We'll schedule it. You get 15 minutes. We can talk. We can, ask questions. You can get advice, whatever you want to do about your, career or anything with dealing with entertainment. If you want to talk personal life, we can talk personal life. But everybody will get 15 minutes that signed up for the $25 one per month, and that will be the extra incentive for signing up for that. Let's get into it.
$25 plan. A little bit. Sounds like it's a phone plan.
So the post that I was referring to on Instagram was the post about my wife and I being poly. Okay. We have been poly longer than we have talked about it. Well, poly open/poly.
Right. That was what
prior to me coming out and telling everybody.
Mm-hmm.
Let's talk a little bit why we decided to come open. You want to start?
Yes. Oh my God. So just very early on in our relationship, our sex started to dwindle. And so I was convinced, like, oh, he just went from this single man doing his own thing to now he, he has, like, I'm a responsibility now. And then I came with the kid, like, I'm thinking of the things from that standpoint. And I already knew that him sleeping with someone else was not a deal breaker for me. It's like, I'd rather you just be upfront with me about that's what you want. So we ended up there because I started with that conversation and that standpoint. I think right before, or we got married, or right after.
Right after we got married.
Right after we got married. Yeah. And that conversation evolved because he was not feeling that shit at first.
Nah, I wasn't. I'm like, what the fuck? Nah, we good. We don't need that goofy shit. Fuck you mean?
Yeah, then it was like that question of, wait, you offering this to me, does that mean you get to do it too? And at the time I was like, no, because I really was not considering that.
Yeah. A lot of it had to do with I had such a traditional ideal of marriage, and it was weird when we were just fucking around. Oh, I slut her out real big. You know what I'm talking about? Over.
He still was not nearly as niggerish with me as he was with other partners.
That is true.
He still did. It was certain things he did not do to me or try even to bring up with me that I heard later he had done. And it was like, dang, I didn't even know you had that level of nigga.
Well, here's the thing. Like, Fran didn't even send me news, bro. Like, Fran wouldn't even know send the news. I'm like, all right, if she ain't sending news, she ain't gonna let me record her. Like the other chicks I was fucking with, we making movies.
Yo.
I was fucking chicks with a motorcycle
Lady
helmet on.
in the streets. You want nobody about to be swapping stories and shit.
She wasn't even sending me a nude.
No.
So I was
You wanna
like,
see me naked. You better see me in person.
I didn't try a lot of stuff with her. And the other chicks, they got the grunt of it. You understand me? I was nasty, coming your hair, ear, facials. It was all about it. But with Farron, I was like, I gotta treat her like a lady. Start missionary. Look at me, look at her eyes, so she know it's real. So that,
but wait, this is the same person. How one time we had sex when I was mad at him, and I literally looked him in his face and was like, "Are you done?"
And I was like, "Nope," and kept on stroking.
So, like, you had that experience with me, and you was still like, "No, I gotta do."
Yep. So got married, and as much as I was giving her, pulled back a little bit because I had this traditional concept, an idea of what marriage had to be. I can't treat my wife all slutty and all that. I mean, you kiss the kid in the morning for breakfast. You know what I mean? I can't come to all of your face and shit like that. Shit, wow, bro. And that had some hangups with our sexual life, our sex life,
and the fact that it also, in my efforts to live a life-free life, I told him that I don't orgasm every time. And so is this like a responsibility, and this like, she's on a like, I got to take care of her. She's in my arms now, not even up on a pedestal. Like, she's so near and dear. So I can't do this to her because I view it as disrespectful. Mm-hmm. And it's also like, even what I do for her in his mind wasn't enough. Mm-hmm. And so both of those things just coming to the surface around pretty much back to back was a whole lot.
So what is it, Marciano? We're gonna answer all the questions in a minute. We were gonna spend like 30 minutes on why we decided to just a recap. The people from the Moore Mob, they already know all this information, so we're just doing a recap for everyone that does not know the whole story, and then we're gonna get into the Q&A. So just hold that. I got you. We're gonna answer your questions. I promise you. Next up, did you need it to look it up right there?
No, I got it.
So we hit a rough patch in our marriage on the sex life, and rather than cheat and be deceitful and all that type of shit, Farron circled back. She bent the block.
I just brought it back to the top of his inbox.
And she was like, so again, what do you think about an open marriage? And the crazy thing is, before she had brought it back, like maybe a couple of days before, I talked to a family member. And this family member, if you saw this person, you'd be like, them? No way they are in open and going to places where they doing these type of, no way. Yes. Somebody I looked at and was like literally clutched all the pearls on my neck, could not believe it. And the way they broke it down to me made so much sense. And this person has always been kind of soft-spoken, but very untraditional. Not in the sense of like killing people and no crazy shit, but like that shit don't work for me. I'm not doing that. Right. And very confident in that. And somebody I respect, even though they're younger than me, I completely respect because of it. And so we had a long conversation, and it really just changed my opinion on a lot of things. Was very bit the block on it. I was like, okay, let's give this a try. Mm-hmm. And we sat and we discussed the parameters. Yeah. We discussed the boundaries. We discussed how we would handle jealousy. We would discuss how, if because we share stories. We don't keep anything. We started dating someone new. At that time, we would tell the person. We would tell about our experiences and our escapades, all that type of stuff. And it was weird because that actually brought us closer together, being that transparent and being that open and that honest with each other. Mm-hmm. And it was crazy because a lot of the people that we were dating or, stepping out with at that time, they had just assumed something was going wrong in our marriage and that we were about to divorced and you know they were
Yes.
potentially the next person. It was like,
No.
no, that's not
I
it.
remember having to tell a guy like, "Yo, I need you to like stay out of trouble because if you like ruin home, like that's gonna mess this up.
Mhm.
Like, yeah, I need you to keep that."
Mhm.
So, you know, like, don't be over here like, where were you 5 years ago? Nigga, happily married? Shit. So, like, I don't know what to tell you. But, yeah. All of
Yeah.
that.
It was a good time. It was a fun time. And that worked for us. There were a lot of difficult conversations
Mhm.
that had to be had prior to us engaging in that lifestyle initially.
Yeah, a lot of difficult conversations because I mean that it wasn't easy. Basically, pretty much in a sexless marriage like
Mhm.
that wasn't easy. So it was a lot of uncomfortable realizations, a lot of uncomfortable conversations, but all of it got us to the point where we can literally talk about anything.
Man, let me tell y'all real quick. I'm the type of nigga that holds a grudge. Prior to us getting to where we are now, I mean, back then we were good when we first started this, but prior to that, even if we got into it, it's tension in the house for 3, 4, 5 days. Like I eat before I get home. I come home late, so you already sleep. Like it's very hostile in the house. And this helped that so much. This and just therapy, learning how to communicate better to the point where today we got into it. Burn. Like
he yelled at me, y'all.
I did. I definitely raised my voice and was standing up like bah 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 bah. And she was like, lower your voice while we having this discussion.
I'm going to need you to stop yelling.
Mhm.
Like I'm going to need you to bring it down.
We were supposed to go karting today, me, her, and the kid, and end up just being me and the kid. She was like, y'all just go because I need a minute. I need a minute. And let me tell y'all something. 5 years ago, there would not have been a show. We would have canceled it.
Yeah.
We would have canceled it.
Yeah.
And we were back
and
good.
You tried to cancel this, and I was like, don't cancel it. I just need a minute.
We were good before me and the kid left the house. I walked past her and then kiss her goodbye or say goodbye. I got to the bottom of the steps and she's like, really, really?
What I say? Really,
really? And I was like, my nigga, I didn't know if you wanted to kiss because you're mad, right? So I apologize wholeheartedly for everything because I was completely at fault in this situation. And she accepted my apology and I go in to kiss her and I just bust out laughing. And she's like, don't fucking laugh at me right now. Then she busts out laughing. And I laugh again. And it just, that laughter has cured so many arguments and so many disagreements in our marriage.
God.
It has, I mean, like, I damn near couldn't stop laughing and
kissing.
kissing.
What I say again when you walk down the steps?
What you say?
When you walk past without kissing?
Oh.
I hate you.
It was so loud.
I do not sound like that. I let him get all the way to the bottom too. I sat there and I was like,
and we got a no shoe policy in the house. I had to put the shoes on and everything, and she hit me with the, and I had to take the shoes off, go back up the stairs and shit. niggas be niggas.
No, you started digging when you walked down the steps without acknowledging me.
Fair. So, but we here.
Yep.
We here. And
they said you absolutely sound like that.
Courtney, no. I don't even know Courtney, but Courtney, no. You feel me? But yeah, we got it together, and here we are talking about where we are in it. So, aside from that, there was a part in our open marriage where we had, I'm gonna tell y'all what really happened. We were drinking, and this is the first time I had tried Molly. I've never tried drugs before because I don't trust niggas. I'm not doing no drugs from niggas. If something go wrong, these niggas will be like, let them sleep it off. Nigga, I'm foaming from the mouth. Take me to the hospital, right? And I've never trusted anybody with my life fully and entirely except for Farron. She's the first person. She's the only person.
I'm a very trustful person.
She's a nigga. I just know she ain't gonna let me die because the insurance is in my name.
He's much more valuable alive right now than he is dead. Okay, I just want to say that.
What's up, Kia? So we did some more drinking. We tried the drugs. And we didn't know what to expect. That shit kicked in. And when I tell you the conversation we had that night changed not only our marriage but our lives. It was one of the most truthful, one of the most transparent, one of the most vulnerable. And that's the most important thing. We talked about things in that conversation that even though we were open, we had never even discussed about because it took the vulnerability to another level.
Discussed about, but keep going.
We had never discussed. It took our marriage to another level. It took our communication to another level. It took our trust to another level. We talked about our kinks, which we had never did before. We talked about our porn preferences, which we had never did before. We sat and watched each other's porn preferences, which we had never did before. We've had porn on while we were doing it, but like, I really like this video. Let me show it to you. Let me tell you why I like it.
Always ones I always let him pick because I'm into kinkier things. And so it was like I was very, very uncomfortable sharing those interests with him. Now I don't give a shit. Mm-hmm. But before, like it was like, oh, I can't let him know I'm watching this. Mm-hmm. So yeah.
And let me tell you something, man. One of the most rewarding things from that is putting all of your dirty little truths, dirty little secrets on the table and having somebody in your corner saying, oh, that's cool. I still love you. We reached a level of, it was like on some Dragon Ball Z type shit. Like, I got to a point where I knew nothing I could do or say, a very, very little I could do or say would make her ever walk away from me. And when you have that type of confidence in your partner, when you know that in your heart to be true, you feel like any and everything is attainable. There isn't a problem or a hurdle too high, a problem too big that you can't overcome when you got somebody like that in your corner, because that is literally unconditional love. And I'm going to be honest with you. I never felt it before. I know my mom loves me, but we had a cantankerous relationship in my teens to the point where I moved out. Tumultuous relationship in my teens that forced me to move out at a very early age. And because of that, I didn't look at our relationship as unconditional. But Farron was the first person that really made me feel that.
And I feel like I was able to have that level of love for you because when we reunited, because we went like a little over a year, absolutely no communication, and we've talked about it before. But when we reunited after that year, I really walked into it and like, I don't care in what capacity this man is in my life. I just want him in my life. It wasn't I have to be with him or I can't do this. It's like, no, if all I can be is his friend, then I want to be the best fucking friend. And I really went into it with that attitude. It just, we played out differently and, and ended up together. But I really went into it with that. Like, I don't care if I get hurt out of this. I am walking into this with intentions, so that's really, I remember having that conversation with Sweet Val actually.
Yeah. So that really changed stuff. Like, we were already in a really good spot, but that put us in the best position we had ever been in our marriage. Mm-hmm. And it really took us to the point where we are at right now. We continue to grow, but we are at such a different place than where we were at 10 years ago. It is mind blowing. Mm-hmm. I didn't know because I was very much against marriage when I was in college. I knew I wanted Farron in my life in some capacity, same as she just said. But I was just like, oh, we're gonna be fucking around forever. We're gonna be good friends forever. I never wanted to get married. She was the first person that made me believe in marriage. And the part where we at right now, I can't believe that I never thought that this was possible. I still can't believe that what we have is possible. The love I have for this woman, the adoration I have for this woman, the homage I will always show this woman for making me a better husband, a better man, a better father. It is unparalleled. And yeah, man, the conversations that we had were so dope and so eye-opening, so refreshing,
Yeah.
and so rewarding.
Yeah, like to be able, because it wasn't just from oh, you're just like basically vomiting the truth. You're also in a place where you're more accepting of the truth that you're hearing.
Mm-hmm.
So while he's like telling me everything that he's thinking, everything he feels that he wasn't comfortable sharing before, I'm in this place where I'm still very loving and accepting and feeling really good. So it's like, wow, like let's get deeper into that. Like it legit just went, we just got deeper on some topics through the whole conversation. It was amazing. And then not knowing how we were going to feel the next day, to wake up the next day and remember what we talked about, and still being in this place of acceptance, no shame, no guilt,
Mm-hmm.
like, and being able to move through it, move forward with all that in mind.
Yeah, for sure. It was a dope experience. And so from there we decided, hey, we want to play together. Because we had never did that. It had always been playing separately. And playing separately was cool, but for some reason it still just kind of felt
really dirty and sneaky.
Yeah, it felt like a dirty little secret. Come back over because you're getting cut off. Yeah.
Well, you know your hips don't lie.
Hey. So we decided to start playing together. We go to the bars and we find a nice young lady, or we try. Here's the thing: try to go online and do the whole online, because there are websites for this.
Yeah.
But it's very difficult because I am who I am, and so somebody sees my face and on there, then you never know, somebody might be screenshotting. This was before we were so forthcoming with who we are and walking in our truth. Because I mean, obviously, guys, I work with a lot of people who aren't in this lifestyle, and I didn't want any blowback on them. And I don't know if you guys noticed, but this last year I spent a lot of time and a lot of effort trying to separate myself as a separate entity, and also just establish my brand as us, right? Mm-hmm. So whatever we got going on, it does not involve or conflict with my business partners, because this is what's going on over here. And so I was very intentional with those moves, so that if something did come out before we were ready to put it out there like that, it just looks like that for me and Farron, not any of my constituents that I work with. And so you have to be very conscientious of that when you are in a certain life or a certain light, because you don't want any of that to affect other people. This is not uncommon. It is untraditional. And once we really started dabbling in the lifestyle, we learned how many of our friends, how many of our people that we looked up to were actually familiar with it or actually still involved in it. And that's one of the reasons that we're doing it, because we were blessed enough to have those people kind of help us and guide us and give us insight, but not everyone does.
But not initially. We definitely walked into it really feeling like just alone on an island. Because of the circle we had then, it wasn't many people, and we didn't even share it with the people that we hung around immediately, because we didn't feel stable enough to combat the questions and things. Like we were still trying to work out the kinks and see what works for us. So you don't want a barrage of confused ass people with questions where you're not. You look like a baby giraffe out there. So that's really where we were initially. But yeah, after a while, and we got more confident in our walk and more confident in our relationship, then it became like, oh, I don't give a fuck what nobody has to say at this point.
Right.
We'll tell this person, like, we ain't trying to broadcast it to the masses, but the people around us, so that there's just fewer lies or like omissions to keep up with.
Yeah. We got one of the special guests in. We're gonna bring him in a minute, but we're gonna start answering these questions real quick. Miss Sweets Talk says playing together was fun.
Yes.
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 Quick story.
Yeah.
And then we're gonna bring our guests in. Before we got married, the night I proposed to Farron, we're sitting in the jacuzzi after the proposal, and we're talking about the stuff we have done. Yeah, but hold on, hear me out. I told her that I had not had a threesome before, and I want to have a threesome. She said, "Okay, we're gonna make it happen." And the first couple years of my marriage was kind of, spotty, so we hadn't had it. And then we went open, and while we were open, I had a threesome with someone. Right now, when we started playing together, the person I had a threesome with, I introduced to Farron. I was like, "Yo, this is such. She's a person." And she was like, and Farron was like, "Oh, this is her? You bitch! I wanted to do that." And it was so fucking funny.
And me and her are still cool.
Yeah, because after that night, we went home and had a threesome.
There's no lie being told. But yeah, that was very funny. But I thought you was about to tell the story of our first one and how walking into the room, because he literally surprised me with it. And my goofy ass burst into tears.
So
I was
our first threesome together was with someone I used to play with when we were playing open and separately. And this was shortly after Farron had cut her hair, and she had just got her boobs done, and she was just feeling just not her best. And so I reached out to this person. I was like, "Hey, tonight I just want to make it all about her. I want us to praise her. I want us to focus on her. I want it to be all about her together." And she was like, "Let's do it. Let's fucking do it." And this was somebody that Farron had already met. She was familiar with this person, but we had never played together. And so I got a room. I told Farron we was gonna go grab something to eat, something like that. I was like, "Let me make the stop real quick." We stopped at the hotel. She's like, "What are we doing here?" I was like, "Just come with me." We go upstairs, and the young lady had already set up everything. I had bought the wine, the chocolate, all the toys, lingerie, all that type of stuff. I had brought 3 different options for lingerie for Farron, so she'd have multiple options. Farron went to the bathroom, got dressed, and we came out, and it was just one of the most beautiful things ever. Farron walked in. She was like, "What's going on?" And she sees the young lady there. She's like, because the young lady was already ready. We walked in. She was like, "Hey guys," and Farron was like, and I was like,
I literally almost cried. I was so excited, and it could not have been more perfect. I was like, "What kind of fucking weirdo gets this excited?"
And then she almost don't cry. I'm like, "No, don't cry. It's gonna make it weird. You can't fuck you while you're crying. What the fuck you want? Tears coming down your fucking eyes?
But they're happy tears.
Yeah, pull your shit together, bitch.
Use them as lube. No.
You think it's small, bitch.
Oh my God. Okay, y'all. Let's introduce these guests.
All right, let's get it go.
We have
Oh man.
Okay.
Yes.
Y'all have me dying over here.
What are you doing, bitch? Get it together.
I ain't gonna lie, Kyle would have threw me left. Like, "Oh no, we're not doing this. Pull it back. Pull it back."
They were happy tears. Like, I ran over and hugged her, and I was like, "Oh my God, you look so beautiful!" Like, it was a whole thing.
It was a whole thing.
I totally girled out in that moment. Like, oh my God. But anyway, y'all. So Alex has become a fast friend and kind of a consultant for me. We got this thing on speed dial in this whole polywalk.
And let me tell y'all something. When you start embracing this lifestyle, one, you have a wealth of knowledge out there. I found Alex from Instagram.
Yeah.
Once we decided we were going to take this walk in life, I started looking up stuff on Instagram, and he was one of the first people that I saw. And I'm not quick to reach out. I'm gonna do a little research, so I deep dive on his page. I did that before I sent his page to Farron. I sent to Farron. Farron was, "Oh my God, this is great. Let's reach out to him." And so we reached out to him for counseling, and not counseling, but it's kind of like just advice and how to set boundaries and how to deal with jealousy.
He literally consults on it.
Yeah.
Like, so
I appreciate that.
And
the Poly Life.
we're gonna make sure he gets a chance to introduce himself
Yes.
and give you his Instagram handle. And I encourage anybody that is interested or curious about this lifestyle, reach out to this man. He is a wealth of information, a wealth of knowledge, a wealth of experience. Okay, and he will guide you through it. He's one of the most humble and just giving people that I've ever met in my life, and I've never even had a chance to meet him in real life, just like via phone conversations and FaceTime. But from that, this brother is amazing. We're gonna let him jump into it, but let's bring the next guest in as well.
And our next guest here, hi, Mama Monty.
She muted.
Oh, unmute.
No, there she goes.
I'm unmuted now. Hey, y'all.
Okay, Mama Monty, she has been on More to the Story before. With her husband, they were talking about just kind of being in the kink space, and I think we talked a lot about impact play and breath play and things that episode. But she is also in the poly life. She and her husband. But I wanted a woman's perspective on things in the conversation, because folks seem to think it's a man's world.
Oh my God. The comments I got about she's just doing it for you, and you're gonna find out in a couple years she hated you for this and all of that. So I'm glad that I definitely had to get a woman's perspective on this.
The eyes that I've seen bulge from when I say it was my idea. They're like, what? Like, yes.
So let's get Alex introduce himself first, and then we'll go with Amani, and then we'll start taking some questions.
How y'all doing? My name is Alex. I educate, mentor, really teach about this, share my family. Been doing it for over 7 years. I thank y'all. Y'all hyped me up. I started sweating like, oh my God, I'm in depression now. No, but yeah, I've been a part of it. I love to see successful family reach a healthy space to actually enjoy their poly journey. You know, both my wives, they would be here with me, but they're out and about right now. But yeah, I'm glad y'all are out, open, sharing y'all story. Y'all had me laughing. I loved it, but I've always loved y'all since I met y'all. Really appreciate this.
Awesome, man. Appreciate it.
You.
Mama Monty, what's poppin'?
No, you're so sweet, Alex. Hey, y'all. I am Amani, aka Amani Lunar, aka Mama Monty, because I mother all the motherfuckers in my life. So,
Let you know.
Over here. I am in the lifestyle on the kink side as well as on the poly side, and I just move and flow within life, being an educator, not like you, Alex, with these specifics, but an educator more on sensuality and grounding and breath work and things like that. So yeah, happy to be here.
Dope.
Okay. Go ahead.
So I want because I know Amani, both my wives, wow. So what is it? Is that's polygyny, right?
Yes, that's a format of polygyny. But you can also, even in the concept of polyamory, you can still be married in polyamory and triads. Triads is a man with could be all men, all women. It could be a man with 2 women, or it could be a woman with 2 men. And also everybody dates each other. The difference between polygyny and that situation is polygyny is like a man with 2 wives, and the wives are monogamous to him.
Okay.
Gotcha.
All right.
Okay. All right.
Got it. Okay, you said you've been in it for 7 years. Can you tell us how that started for you?
Oh, my situation was ugly. Yeah, I don't want this backstory. It's everywhere, right? So of course, my situation, my marriage, we didn't communicate. We weren't in a good spot. We're in a good place. And instead of communicating, I started outsourcing. That's what I'm gonna call it. I was outsourcing. No, and of course, instead of handling situations within my family and handling within my household, I stepped out and met another woman. I didn't drag my situation or anything like that. Of course, when my wife found out, I was direct with her. Yes, I am talking to another woman. It is what it is. I do apologize, whatever. We did separate for a little bit, because it was like, I can't believe it's betrayal. But of course, I still kept communication with her, still try to work things out. And she was like, after a few months, after we went through our whole chaos, right? She was like, I want to meet her. I want to meet her. And I'm like, are you serious? Like, you want to meet her? And I had just ended things with her too, because I was like, I'm over everybody. So now she was like,
I feel like that's Aries energy.
Yeah, that's an Aries. Yeah, she an Aries. She is an Aries. Yeah. So, I was like, all right, bet. Turned around and, so I lined it up. I was like, okay, let's meet. First, I thought they were going to jump me. I'm like, nah, they going to jump me. They going to stab me. So it's going to go left. No, but it was all positive vibes. And from that moment, they realized I was doing foul things. You know what I mean? At the end of the day, I'm going to call it what it is. I was being selfish. I was being deceitful. I was being secretive. But at the end of the day, when I brought it to the table, when it was making me bring it to the table, I was transparent. And then it was like, where are we going from this? Let's lay down all our options. We didn't know it was poly, non-monogamy. We didn't know none of that. We just knew at the end of the day, we're going to try something different. Instead of dividing our family, we're going to come together and make it make sense for us. So at the beginning, they used to date each other too. And we tried it, all three of us doing the triad. And then, they realized they couldn't do the romance. They couldn't do that part. The sex was fun. We're having threesomes all the time. Sex is amazing. I miss it sometimes. No, no. But they realized the romance, they just didn't mesh. So they turned around, had a whole conversation, seeing what they could do to make the adjustments to where they didn't put that pressure on themselves. And that's how we kind of formed the situation of them just with me, and we still move as one family. Okay. It takes a lot of talking.
Okay, and I brought wanted Amani in the conversation because I know right now she and her partner are dating. Can you talk to us about how you guys got into making that decision?
Yeah, for us, I want to say, of course, it was a decision, but at the same time, it wasn't a decision because we have been together for the past 9 years, and that was a part of our foundation. Mm-hmm. Like going into this relationship, dating each other initially, we were like, these are the open lives we want to create. Does this work? And it just so happened that the other person was like, that's the life I want to create too. So wow. We were very fortunate, but also chose to take a pause. We took, I'd say, about 5 years just building our foundation as a couple, building our trust, our communication styles, learning each other deeper before we decided to open it back up. Mm-hmm. Like, okay, we feel like we can do this in a way that's going to be healthy for both of us individually as well as us collectively as a unit. And it was at that point, God, I guess, 4 or 5 years ago, that we were like, okay, let's try this dating thing. These are all the things we're looking for. A triad situation. Going into the lifestyle initially, most people was like, you ain't gonna find that, ain't gonna find that, ain't gonna find that. Going to swingers parties, that don't exist. So it wasn't until diving more into the polyamorous side of the lifestyle and the community that we realized, okay, we're not crazy. We can actually have what we're looking for. Right. And it's been a beautiful experience of deepening in communication as well as deepening in love with each other. And it doesn't work out with everybody. We recently went through a breakup, which was a little sad and disheartening, but we're still out there in these polyamorous streets looking for that triad unit.
The streets.
I think one of the greatest things about this for us was like the fun that we had in Reignited, and also like we had been together. Like I said, we had started talking in 2005. So around year 5, year 6, you start thinking like, I know everything about this person. It's like there's nothing new I can learn. And at some point, you start to feel like shit is on cruise control, and it's just, you take your hand off the wheel, get lazy at it. And this opened up a brand new world of information and likes, dislikes, fantasies, wants, all that type of stuff for us. And it's beautiful to still be on this lifelong journey with her and learn new stuff about her.
Yeah.
I love that part right there.
I want to address a couple of the questions. Farron, did you already talk about what sparked your idea for beginning this lifestyle? And were you nervous to bring it up to here? So what sparked my interest was just knowing that I couldn't be the only one who questioned monogamy. And so it was already like, I'm not dead set on having it. It's not a deal breaker for me. And feeling like that before even jumping into a relationship was like, kind of helped me relax. It's like, so I want to create a safe space for you to just tell me what the hell you want, because there's no need for you to cheat. You can have what you want. Just don't surprise me with some shit.
Yeah.
And so that was pretty much always my attitude. Hell, that's still my attitude about a lot of stuff. Like, don't let me find out from somebody else. You know what? Oh my God, I sound like my mama. Don't let somebody else tell me nothing of that you should have told me. Like, that's legit where that attitude came from. The trauma, honey. But yes, so and was I nervous to bring it up to him? Yes, I was nervous to bring it up to him, because in a way, it can be read as I'm not good enough. And it's like, no, that has nothing to do with it. And so it was like being able to explain that in a way where he still felt like he had worth to me. And that, yeah, for me to be the one to bring it up, though, I was actually very just vocally insecure for this to have been my idea. So it was a lot of, I was on the accelerated course through that. Alex, can you speak to that at all?
I want to do say that I do love that you brought it up, right? At the end of the day, in non-monogamy, people will be surprised that it is mainly the women who bring it up and approach the situation. We got to remember the monogamous concept was created by men. It was just to also guarantee that each man could get a woman to themselves, one-on-one. That's where that concept came from. And polygamy, the way it was set up, polygamy, of course, was set up for marriage. And then when you have polyamory, which polyamory been around longer than polygamy, but we created marriage from polygamy. Polyamory, once it came around, it allowed the women to be sexually liberated. I want to explore. I want to see how this looks for me. So that's why, and now with these shifting, that's why so many more women are actually bringing it up and saying, hey, this is something I want to do. It gives me the room to explore and see and express myself kind of as I grow and learn myself. And one thing you did say to me that I do want to tap on when you said unconditional love, it's really at the end of the day, we also find ourselves being unconditionally accepted. This person is going to love us and accept us unconditionally without us having to restrain or limit ourselves of who we are. And that's the dope part about non-monogamy.
Yeah, I agree.
Dope.
I had another question. Tahir, what did you need for you to feel open and safe to have the convo with Farron? We needed first to have a conversation about boundaries, what it looked like for us, what was off limits, what were the rules. One of our rules were we would always come home. We would sleep next to each other every night, regardless of who you were talking to. Another rule initially was to only date married people. We were looking for people who had enough to lose or as much to lose as we did. So we envisioned those people will be less likely to spill the beans and,
start some shit.
One of the things I found it difficult with that was that a lot more men will just don't give a fuck. She had no problem, right? With women, it was like, they were worried about the kids and the house and the future. They were like, I just can't do it. They would
I had
initially
to deal
sign
with
up.
ego a lot.
Yeah.
And you had to deal with family.
Yeah. So it was like, it was very hard for me to find married women that would, willing to, put themselves out there, because I wasn't tapped into the lifestyle and the community like that. So it was very difficult to find people that were open for that.
Yeah.
So,
and though there are sites dedicated to it, with him being who he is, it was like that concern of him being outed.
mhm.
But I know that ain't everybody's story. Amani, how these sites looking though?
I see what you did there. I'll tell you what, these sites are not what they used to be. These sites used to be pretty trash.
Oh, really? Things have gotten better, because I know you found someone on there before.
Yes. Our first encounter actually ended up being from one of those sites.
Mhm.
And we're back on those sites now. It's so far so good. But yeah, for a long time we were running into similar things on the sites that we were running into going to the club, like lifestyle clubs, in that most people are either wanted full swaps or partial swaps of some sort. It was a lot of couples. And if it was singles, it was mostly single men trying to look to get in and fit in somewhere, but not a lot of women, because that was not known maybe per se, is we were looking for a female partner. So there wasn't a lot of that before. It was slim pickings. And now there's just been this really beautiful surge of just folks of varying ages just opening themselves up to their sensuality, their sexuality in new ways now. Like, more people are looking to explore that in ways that they weren't necessarily before, or at least didn't know that they were looking to explore that before per se. So I feel like this new wave has come in of an openness that has been really refreshing. So these sites is looking good now. I'll be scrolling for way too long. I end up getting tired at this point. It's like looking at Tinder, and I'm just like, and I'm done.
Just swiping right for hours.
Yes. Yes, and it's still more, and I'm like, Jesus. It's like 10 times what it used to be. I used to swipe for 20 minutes and be done. If that. 20 minutes was a good day before.
I want to address this one right here, because I think this is a great question, especially for people in the Black and Brown community, because ourselves, we have definitely faced this. And E-Man Watts says, Alex, I was looking at a woman. Have you faced any taboos from family, friends on being poly? Myself, as a Black man who's poly, always gets that's white people stuff response. First of all, we get it. We get it better than most. And yes, we definitely have faced those taboos. We have definitely faced those dirty looks, and
I mean, especially with us both having pretty strict Christian backgrounds too. It was like, these are the rules for what marriage is. This is what you're supposed to do. These are the milestones you're supposed to hit, and XYZ. And I mean, even down to like our wedding, we would have done it totally different if it hadn't been for our moms involving themselves. And it was like, you know what? We gave them the ceremony they wanted, but the rest of this shit is ours. And so then it became not only talking that, but walking that. So, my family knows our situation. They and everything now, for the most part, and the friends and stuff. Like, I don't know. We've always kind of been like the
black sheep.
not even just the Black Sheep, because I'm thinking about all of our friend groups, and it's like nothing we do really surprises people. So it's like, yeah, I can see y'all niggas doing that.
Yeah.
That's kind of
Nothing really surprises.
so, it's only been a couple people that's been like outwardly uncomfortable, but then even them, they came around. There's other folks who was like, I have no questions. That sounds great. And they just moved, they breezed right past it.
Yeah.
So
Alex, do you want to speak to that and just talk about the things that you've encountered? Because you've been in it longer than us, I feel like. So what was your first couple years like?
I faced it, you know what I mean? It's just white people stuff. I also got the man, I thought ugly people do it. Are you sure? Like you, I was like, damn, I gotta be ugly. You know, yeah, no, it is crazy, right? Because I always tell people it's just three different things that we look at here. People are kind of blown away because like you're giving up a status. You open up your marriage, you're gonna bring someone to be equal to your husband or wife. You're giving up a status now. And then also people confuse commitment for exclusivity. They're like, your commitment's over. What are you doing? You're not really committed to your wife. This is not exclusivity. You can be committed to multiple things, and how you show up for those things is going to define what that is. You know, and of course, favoritism, people confuse that for love. It's like, you know, once they start to realize those things, you can actually maneuver in a different space with them. You can understand this lifestyle, but instantly they'll be like, that's white people stuff. Man, you from Utah? I'll be like, I'm from Utah. What's he doing? But it is, and it's challenging, right? People do lose families. People do lose friends, you know, due to the fact that they're choosing this lifestyle, but it's due to the fact only that they don't understand, they can't process it, and that's why education is very important.
So I know that one thing because on our second trip to Hito, we met some people who were like, you know, just very much like, what about the jealousy? The jealousy, I'm too jealous. I don't even like when someone calls my mom, like I'm too jealous for this. Like it was that type of energy. So I want to touch on jealousy and how, because I've shared how we've worked through it and everything, but I want to hear from each of you on some exercises you've used in your own. And Amani, I'll let you start that one.
Yes. Jealousy is a thing. Both me and my partner have both experienced it on both sides. And for me personally, whenever jealousy arises, I know I need to take a beat. So I know I need to remove myself from the situation. And if it just so happens to be a sexual situation that something is happening in, jealousy arises, then I know that we've got safety codes and words and signals and things that this needs to stop. And we need to just take a pause and step back real quick and come back to this later if that feels good. And when I remove myself from the situation, I take myself through kind of like a checklist, like a processing list. Okay, I'm jealous, I'm triggered. What triggered me? Okay, this specific thing triggered me that someone said. What did it trigger in me? Like, what in me is that asking for me to reflect on? And then I have to take that back into, usually it comes down to, there's something that I'm not feeling good about within myself that's making me feel insecure within this situation at this specific time. But honestly, at the end of the day, on both sides, whenever his jealousy comes up or mine comes up, it always comes back to us and like our stuff. And it's never really the other person. It's just their action that's causing me to have to take a moment to reflect on growth that I still need to do for myself. Because at the end of the day, I still love him. And I love him even more for boldly being able to continue to be himself and vice versa. And how can I love myself more so that I feel the security that I need to feel in all these situations?
Wow, that was beautiful. Yes. Wow. So Alex,
I definitely can't come behind that. That was beautiful right there. That's exactly.
Yes, you can.
nodding. I saw you nodding. I was like, oh, so he getting all the points. Let me think of a different question for Alex because he's not ready for this one. No. No, like because your situation started off so rocky, how did you guys' situation with jealousy evolve?
Well, that was a challenge. We had to really do a lot of reassurance, right? Because now we're coming into a situation where it's betrayal. So anything off that I did instantly triggered. You know, this is probably why you did that, or this is. So we really had to really sit down and have those safe spaces. Check-ins are very important with each other. You know, people don't realize how important check-ins when we do relationship management. Check in with your partner, see where everything is, and see how things are going and where they're at. Those are the moments that you might come across your negotiations, whatever is needed. But when we used to go and have our check-ins with each other, you know, Shalon would let me know, like, you know, I didn't like this at this moment. I felt this way, or I would recognize it when she would explode out of those actions. And of course, that's when we had to really, I wouldn't try to react to it at that moment because I understand to ride the waves. We got to ride the waves of the emotion to get to the conscious mind, you know, to have that clear answer. And we learned the system. You know, I mean, our main system that we learned is when when we're communicating with each other, don't reach 10. 10 is reaching the bear, right? And when you get to the bear, what do? You fight or flight. And so what are we going to start doing? So we started putting like little things in there so we don't have to reach there and still communicate. If it's breaks, walking away from each other, like Luna said, like she laid it down. It's just really self-analyzing to make sure whatever you can do to get past those things. So we started studying post-betrayal because, of course, I betrayed her. And so folks walked through her embarrassment, told her give herself grace because sometimes in infidelity, we do blame ourselves in those situations. So we had to really go through all the processes together to reestablish that trust, reestablish that foundation, and it created our bond a little bit stronger and our communication great.
Mm-hmm.
But it was challenging, man. It was challenging.
I was gonna say we're gonna take a couple more questions because we want to keep it close to the hour as possible. Don't hold our guest hostage as well. As a reminder, we typically do this on Patreon. So if you're interested in hearing more, learning more, engaging more, make sure you sign up for the Patreon. We wanted to give you guys an idea. Yeah, that's what I'm going to. Of what we had going on, and also just kind of share the information for those who had questions based off of the responses I saw on the Instagram post. So I'm gonna go to this one real quick, and then we might have time for one more. Then we're gonna get sign-offs, and you'll get everybody's handle so you can ask some questions if you want us to engage.
So Muhammad Lawan asks, why did you guys feel the need to air it out as opposed to keeping it private? After all, it's nobody's business but yours. Love from Nigeria. Thank you. And thank you for asking that, because our decision was a mutual decision, because we realized how we walked into our marriage knowing that we wanted something different but did not know what was possible. And this information is not readily available in our community. Sure in hell wasn't readily available back in the Midwest where we're from. Like, we didn't know anybody. I've heard more stories of people finding old photos of their grandparents at swingers parties, but never knowing that that was a thing after these people have passed on. And it's like, why are you sitting here beating down your kids' throats to get married and have grandkids when you got married and swung all of the fuck about? Like, or you got married and you were in the lifestyle and you didn't let anybody know that this was a thing, especially the people who coming after you. Like, what the hell? So we just wanted to be able to, like, we've experienced some things, we've learned some rights and wrongs, and now we're in a place where we can let other people know, like, there's alternatives available. Yeah, that's it. Mm-hmm. That's all it was.
Yeah. And it was also, for me, it was also kind of just like embracing our truth. Sometimes it takes, somebody you see that you respect or admire doing something before you feel comfortable doing something. And I've said this on the podcast that they posted clips from, and I will continue to say it. These conversations are typically not had in the Black and brown community from people with high positions, even if they are engaged in it. You've heard murmurings of it with Will and Jada. You've heard the rumors of T.I. and Tiny. None of them have owned up to it. And I get it. Like, we're putting ourselves in a position where certain brands might not want to rock with us in the future. If I continue to grow, Lord willing, and my name gets bigger, certain companies might find this might resurface, and deal might be in the works, and they might pull a contract. We get that. I understand that. I feel it's necessary to hear this from people that you respect and trust. You don't have to agree with it, but you need to know that this is an option. We were on the down and out. We were thinking about calling the quits, and this helped us reignite our love for each other because of the acceptance, because of the transparency, because of the honesty, because we didn't feel like we had to limit who we really were and what we really wanted to do. And
we didn't even realize how much we loved each other until we did this.
Yeah, like, because you can do and say certain things and it be taken the wrong way or out of context because you're moving in a lot of times in relationships. It's very difficult to have those conversations, those difficult conversations with your spouse because you love them so much. You don't want to say anything that's going to hurt their feelings. Mm-hmm. You can have a heartfelt conversation with a stranger and tell them everything because you don't think you're going to see that person again, but you also don't give a fuck what they think about you. Bitch, we at the bus stop. You ain't no better than me. But when it comes to your partner, it's very difficult to be that blunt, that honest, that transparent because you fear of hurting them with something you may say. But we're at the point now where we know that if we say so, even like I said today earlier with the argument, it was a lot of tension. Attitudes were rising, but at the end of it, I know she wasn't coming from a place of malice. She just felt hurt in what I said, and she understood that I wasn't doing it intentionally to hurt her, but what I said was wrong, and I took the wrong tone with it. But it was never coming from a place of malice, like, let me say this because I want to hurt you and hurt your feelings and tear you down. We're at a place now where we will never do or say anything like that because we love each other too much and so much to disrespect each other like that. So this spawned from us taking this leap into this lifestyle. And even if we don't stay in the lifestyle forever, we will still have the lessons and the learnings that we've gained from this and garnered from this. And that in itself is worth it. For me to be able to talk to my wife about anything, man, I'm with it, bro. Fuck you saying?
To hear. Can I piggyback on something you just said though?
I love that.
You may not stay in, even if you don't stay in this lifestyle, because I feel like that's a common misconception that people are like, oh, so you always going to be this way. You can be non-monogamous now, poly now, in the lifestyle now, and 10, 15, 5, 20 years later, decide and choose that no longer serves you. That happens. That's a reality. And I just wanted to say that because so many people be talking about that. And I just be like, people change.
Right. Hell, we changed into this. Who says we not going to morph again? Like, listen.
I don't even like the same pizza I used to eat 10 years ago. Your taste buds change, your lifestyle will too. Like, nothing is finite. Nothing is forever. You know, nothing. We're not forever.
To like coffee, and now I can't even start my day without smelling it.
Folgers in your cup?
Yeah.
It's Folgers.
So
I'm a coffee snob.
We are very dedicated to continue these type of conversations.
Mm-hmm.
We hope that the people who are not part of the More Mob, we hope you got something from it. Again, let me say this every episode, at the beginning and the end, we are not trying to convince anyone. We are not trying to convert anyone. This may not work for you. You might just be here for the information. So when people are having this conversation, you have something worthwhile to say because you're a little bit more educated than you were the day before. This may be for the people who are curious and interested in it. I saw one person that said they've been interested in it with their wife for 12 years, but they don't know how to bring that conversation up because their wife is very traditional. They always talk about the traditional marriage. I wish we had more time to answer the questions, but we will try to get back to everyone as much as possible.
And we're handing you some great resources here as well. So reach out to Alex and Mama Mani too.
Yeah, so
y'all.
if y'all want to join the More Mob, I encourage you because we do these conversations bi-weekly. We have never had guests on before, but this is a great addition. We will try to get more guests on because we have a plethora of context now that we are in the lifestyle. And again, I would watch this. If you missed the beginning of it, go watch it now, because in an hour I'm going to make it private and it's not going to be available for everyone. I'm doing this just as an exclusive. This week you're going to see more vlogs that I did from the years prior to on tour. You're going to get a lot of content that is exclusively for my Patreon, so you can see what you have been missing on and see if it's something that you want to be a part of. You join the More Mob, it is really like a tribe. It's like a family. It's very uplifting. It's very inviting and comforting. We all look out for each other. We share information, and that's just what I want to do. I want to create a ecosystem of just love, comfort, encouragement, and hilarity. That's what life should be. It's enough bullshit going on to where you shouldn't have to join something to deal with the bullshit there. We're not doing that in the More Mob. This is just all about positivity. So if you're interested, shut up. If you're interested, join it. Get down with us. Before we get out of here, I want Alex to drop all his socials. So people, if you're interested, you can find him on Instagram and connect with him.
Oh, yes. Make sure y'all follow me. Everything is Portah Family, PORTAH Family. You catch us on YouTube. Everything you reach out, I will reach back, give y'all any information. You said everything very beautiful at the end. I love that. Like, you was trying, I was like, I wanted to get up and clap. Like, yo, it is coming into the lifestyle. It puts you in a position to start learning yourself, even more deeper, learning your partner, and finding love in a new type of way, onto a new other level that you don't understand. Being vulnerable with somebody that's going to accept you unconditionally is a whole other type of love people won't understand until they find themselves in the situation. Yo, you was dropping jazz. I appreciate the time too. And pleasure meeting you too, Mama Mani. I love you.
Absolutely, man. We appreciate you being here.
Yes, absolutely. And so last minute too. We were sitting there talking about doing it, and I was like, let me see what Alex doing.
Literally.
Hey, I'm with it. Anytime, I'm with it.
Thank you. Mama Mani?
Yes. Alex said it. He was over there preaching the sermon that everybody needed to hear and didn't know that they needed. It was beautiful. It was eloquent. You did not stumble over your words. I'm so proud of you. And honored just to be here with y'all, having the conversation. And I'm grateful that y'all are continuing to create safe spaces like this, just to expand the conversation and expand people's minds and open up the possibility. Like you said, even if it's not for them, it's a wonderful place just to learn. Who knows? Your best friend might pop up and be like, I'm in the lifestyle. And now you have more information about what that can look like. So I'm privileged to be on here with y'all talking tonight. My name is Mama Mani, aka Mama Mani. My handles are Amani Lunar or Lunar Liquid Flow. That is very long, but you can find everything through Amani Lunar on Instagram.
Hell yeah. Shit. It was something else I was going to say. I cannot remember it right now. Oh, people were trying to figure out. It was like, wait, is that the chick from the challenge show? I can't.
Yes, the sensual dance one when you was in that leotard.
Yes, he was doing this in the leotard.
Yes. I was gonna look at that video of y'all at the little what was it, Christmas party when the family was in town, and you dancing like him and he dancing like you.
Good times.
Like, man, the fucking company I keep.
Good times. Well, listen, it doesn't mean they won't. Oh, yeah. Oh my God. Jesus Christ.
What?
Listen. And just because they're open doesn't mean they want any and everybody.
Jesus.
I wasn't fucking any and everybody before I got married. I just want y'all to know that I got top tier dick. Okay, my dick has a Yelp page.
It's like letting somebody know, like, oh, I'm gay. So you've been attracted to me this whole time? Bitch, no.
Like, come on, y'all. Like, I swear when people don't understand the lifestyle, they turn to WebMD. They go to the worst case scenario. When you tell people you're in the lifestyle, it is, oh, you fucking everybody out here.
Got cancer.
I still am me. You know what I'm saying? I'm picky about everything. You gonna think that I'm just out here just throwing this dick on the crap table? No.
Or that I'm trying to throw it at you specifically.
Mm-hmm. Please know that. Please know that. Yeah, I am very intentional with my flirting. If I'm flirting with you, you gonna fucking know it. Now, I'm very naive when people are flirting with me. So you damn near got to have a billboard and a t-shirt on while you're explaining it to me slowly. Farron has told me since college, I probably left so much pussy on the table because I don't pick up on those. I'm just a naturally funny and talkable guy. So I talkative guy. I talk to everybody. So if you're trying to flirt, I probably missed it.
Right.
If you thought just liking some pictures was gonna do it, I was like, hey, thanks for the likes. I'm not. I don't pick up on that shit. I'm very naive with it. Farron has to tell me when we go out sometime. Ooh, she was flirty with you. That's how she says it. Babe, she was all flirty with you, and I'm like, was she? I thought she just said hello and you smell nice.
Boy, she literally pressed her nose up to your neck. She was talking about what? I didn't know.
It's smoky in here. I thought she just needed a close scent. I'm very naive and blunt when it comes to that. I just needed. Oh, Keon, you missed everything, nigga. We talked about the threesomes. We talked about fucking on top of the refrigerator. Shit was crazy with the step stools stopped on top of each other. Shit was crazy.
Oh, God. Anyway, thanks for joining us, everybody. This has been great, and we will see y'all in a couple weeks.
Yeah, couple weeks. Sean Fallon, you just got here. You missed everything, nigga. Go back and watch it. Y'all got an hour before this goes dark. Talk to y'all later. Peace, guys.